In the second part of our efforts to make the perfect travel page, we're reviewing this Botswana trip hosted by Reese Voyages, and we're noticing actually that this title is a little bit long. So that's one thing that we might fix. And we're also noticing that this description doesn't reference the rest of the travel page. So we're going to add a little extra instruction for them to look on the left for additional information. So we're going to go back from the traveler view to the planner view, and we're going to update our trip. We're going to change this to take the long title and put it down here and make it bold. And we're just going to take a piece of this to put in the description. Okavango Delta. And then we're going to add a little description that says, take a look around by clicking on the icons to the left to learn more about the itinerary, inclusions, exclusions. When you are ready to book, click Take Me There to register your interest. You'll then receive instructions on how to pay your deposit. We're going to save that. And we're going to go back and take a look and wait for that to load. Now we can see that looks a little bit better. Not quite as loud, but still has the information that we're looking for, and then has that additional information down there for people who don't immediately understand where to find the extra information or what happens when that button is clicked. Now that we've guided them to the travel itinerary, we can see that our days are spread out one by one. And some of them still have the default imagery. So we're going to fix that. We're going to make sure that all of our days have an image that is appropriate for Botswana. And we're also going to think about whether or not to add an image onto this section as well. So we're going to go back to the planner view and click Manage Trip Items. Now notice that this might change in your view depending on what you've called it in your trip settings. So we're going to start with the first one. Now this is day 1. This is when you're arriving. And you're transferred to the Gamoto tented camp. So we're going to change this to actually be the Gamoto tented camp. Now the smaller your image, the faster it will upload. So I do recommend, especially if you're on a Mac, if you open it in preview, you can always go in and adjust the size and decrease it by 50%, usually is sufficient. And there we have our image loaded. We click Done, and the preview will load there. There we go. And notice that this is actually a wide image, but because it's being put in a square space, it will actually be cropped to fit, and you don't need to worry about that. Now we're going to leave the elephant one alone, and we're going to add a new image for each one of these. We're going to put our kingfisher here. And always remember that you can search for photos if you don't have photos of your own, and that links you to Unsplash. And we're going to put a cheetah on this one. Remember, you can always change these, so don't worry. Give it a try, see how it looks. Looks perfect. Such cute animals. And we're going to load one last image for our last day, which is our leopard. Always lucky to see one of these in Africa. Of course, last time I was there, I saw a leopard but didn't see a rhino. All right, now we're going to save that. And once that's published, we can actually refresh our traveler view and see how this looks to them. You can shortcut to the itinerary by clicking there. You can see we now have the tent logo, we have our elephant, not spread across a few days, then we have our kingfisher, our cheetahs, and our leopard. Now, if you actually want these to be slightly larger, you can always embed them in the content, and I'll show you how that's done. So, for example, if you want to take the kingfisher, you can always right-click and copy image address from here. And then when you want to put it inside the content, let's say we want to put it on the description because it's our favorite image of the set, we can actually add it here. We click on the image icon and we paste that URL there. And we just need to cut that off the end. And, oh, that's too big, so we're going to do 500, maybe 300. Yeah, that looks good. And we will keep that on where it is. Say OK. And save. Now we'll reload here. And we can see our bird has appeared here. You can always make that bigger by changing the width setting that I put in there. And of course, coming soon, you'll be able to upload images directly into your content as well. So there you go. That's how you polish up your images to give each of your items a little bit of local color and make sure it's as engaging as possible.